score czar here, not to be confused with any other fake czars, living or dead. I am the only legitimate czar of all the scores. And we're focusing today on college basketball. We have been since late December. And we got every game, we've got every doggone game set up, ready to go. Don't know these scores yet, haven't checked them out. Um, but here we got the teams, the predicted score, and Vegas line. So obviously we say Duke is going to beat Louisville by 20, and the line is 6.5. Duke's our play. Very easy to figure out. But just to give you a little scope of what we're talking about for today, here is what we're talking about for today. There's a lot of games today, a lot of games. And I see one that had no line on it, Hartford and UMass Lowell. I'm just going to check this out real quick just to see if there was a line ever assigned to it, because at last check, they had not. No line. Well, let me refresh. And then I'll check college basketball, the Vegas Insider here. Everything just sits and spins, Who was I talking about there? It was Hartford and UMass Lowell. Not popping up on the Vegas Insider. Oh, it's been postponed. Okay, all right. So we'll get rid of this one. We'll take this one off the board. And we're going to do this rather easily. We're just going to copy and modify, paste. Got it, all you Excel nerds? All right, let's get into this. Don't know these scores. Duke and Louisville. How'd it turn out? Oh, come on. I'm just dying to know. 74-65 Duke. Almost at that top line number. 6.5 is the line. Looks like we won. Looks like Duke won by 9. So that, my friends, is what you call a victory. That is a victorious pick. Now we can do this one of two ways. I can do it the way I want to do it. Go into the computer and enter this score. There's Duke's profile. Every team's got a profile. Here's Duke's. And against Louisville, and it was 74-65. Now I'm going to take Louisville's overall power rating. I'm going to slide it into Duke's strength of schedule column. Hell are you talking about, man? There's Louisville's file. And we just stopped working because we're Google Docs. Come on. Man, I tell you what. God, Google Docs is horrible. God. Okay, this is Louisville's overall power rating. Google Docs just wears me down. And I'm going to insert that into Duke. We're back at Duke. That number to Duke's strength of schedule column. So let's go down here. So we've just updated the strength of schedule for Duke. Here's your points for on the year. Here's your points away or points against. What happens here is this little box right here is defense divided by offense. Now, if you've scored more points than you've allowed, this is going to be below 1.0. Let's go look at Boston College. They've allowed more than they've scored, and their D/O, defense divided by offense, is above 1.0. They've failed the level of competition, whereas Duke has met and exceeded the level of competition. So what we do then is we multiply this times that. We take our D/O, we multiply it times our strength of schedule. That gets us our overall power rating. Okay, sounds simple enough? That's how the game is played. So let's go finish this. Let's go put the Duke score into Louisville. And hopefully Dogs will play nice, crying out loud, for just one time or not. Excel runs just circles around this silly little concept called Google Docs. So why bother using it, Score? Well, I'm glad you asked. I can't share Excel. I can one time, and then it'll crash on these live streams. I can't share Google Docs, but Google Docs has never had the formulas I needed that Excel had until now. Now they have them all. Now there's no reason other than I just hate them to use Google Docs. And so we got the whole thing on Google Docs. Instead of, I used to have to copy and paste. Hell, there's 35 conferences. Copy and paste 35 conferences. Get out of here. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. But I did it for a long time. Not going to do it anymore. Okay. With this out of the way, so we can do it that way. It's going to be a long day. Or we can just zip through these finals, and I can go back later and enter these scores, which I don't want to do. But we may end up doing that. Georgetown and Butler. Georgetown and Butler. Any day now. Any day now. Okay, good Lord. Nothing's working anymore, man. Butler wins 56-53. We had this as a money line play. In other words, we're getting 5.5, okay, on the straight up. We felt that the underdog would win the game, so we shaded this in green, and if that did happen, we would win a money line. Here's our money line victories during this little contest. We've got 51 of them. So what's so big about a money line? Well, it pays you better than a straight up bet. If you're gonna predict the underdog to win, it's gonna pay you back better than the straight up bet paid us. This paid us 2-1. We give them $100 to give us 200 back. Okay, we give them $100 here in Georgetown and won the game. We'd get something like 215 to 230 to, depending on how big the dog is. But now in this case, we still win the game because they lost by less than 5.5. Okay, but we don't get the money line. We don't get the money line play. Okay. We're 2-0, and I'm not going to enter the score. And so I'm going to leave it like this, and I'm going to have to do 100+ games in the middle of the damn night tonight. But let's just keep this moving along. Davidson and LaSalle. 77-69 was that final. And the line was 14.5. We said they'd win by 18. And it looks like it was only an 8-point victory. If this thing ever decides to update, good God, Google Docs is so awful. All right, I need to not be so negative. Okay, so that's a loss for us because we didn't beat the line here. LSU and TCU, you kidding me? LSU and TCU is playing today? That's awesome. LSU, okay, TCU wins 77-68. And my love affair with LSU is just about over. We got it pretty dang high over here in our rankings. We got them number 5, but just by they just keep losing. They just keep losing, and they're not as good as computer thought they were. And so we're hopping right off that LSU train. It's just not working for us. Okay, we had them beating TCU. Now this game was at Dallas, so TCU did have that um, home court advantage. But still, LSU with their monsters early on, just monster numbers. And TCU is a good team. Don't misunderstand. But LSU should have won. Should have won that game based on their monster numbers. But maybe they're just a paper tiger. Maybe that's what it is. Miami of Florida and Georgia Tech. Miami of Florida wins 73-62. Look at that, 73-62. Paying attention, folks. That is what you call scary accurate. And we're going to take that. It's a win. We said 9, it was 11. And on this string, we count them up here. We went 3 wins and 2 losses. Okay, Wichita and Tulane, very interesting game here. I think a lot of Wichita, but they have had some weaker moments. And tonight was one of them. 66-67, they lose to Tulane. Yeah, just sometimes I just think Wichita not living up to the rep a little bit. So that's a loss. Michigan State and Michigan. So we got this as a 4-point victory. The line is 3.5. Let's see what happened. So 83-67 Michigan State. So that's just a case of Michigan going, you guys take it. And that happens an awful lot in college football, especially at these higher levels. But it's a win for us. So we had a half-point situation there. Michigan State's good, but are they 16 points better than Michigan? Come on, Michigan. No effort is what I'm seeing here from Michigan. Coastal Carolina, Arkansas State. And Arkansas State wins 7-66. We had the dog, which is Arkansas State. And we're the winner. The big fat winner. Update, damn it. Man. Chattanooga and the Citadel. And I know it's the Citadel. 75-62 Chattanooga. Really good team. 75-62. We're just all over this in these numbers here today. So 8.5 was the line. We said 17, then won by 13. That's another win for the computer. VMI and East Tennessee State. VMI 83-79. So the line was 3.5. We said they'd win by 5, and they won by 4, which is still better than 3.5. And all of a sudden, you go 4-1 on that string. 4-1. And after this takes an hour and a half to update, you'll see we're 7-3, and we got a 70% winning percentage against the Vegas line. That's what we're talking about, man. Now we're making some money. Army and Lafayette. Army wins 60-56. So we said they'd win by 8. The line was 7.5. They only won by 4, so that's a lot. Navy and American U. 15.5 is the line. Let's see what happened. Okay, this game is still in action. So it looks like we're maybe caught up. Wow, that was quick. Well, let's try Dartmouth and Columbia. That game is still in action. I'm on a little early, I guess. Towson and Drexel. Yeah, there's still 8 minutes left. So what we're gonna do is take our first breaky poo. Oh, there's a lot of games pending at final here. A lot of games about to go final. I'm just looking at the actual finals just to make sure we got them all so far. And we do. We're all caught up, folks. So I'm going to go enter these scores, and I'm going to see you back here about an hour or so. We'll let some time go. All right. We'll see you in a bit.